Well, let's talk about having a conversation about racism, because we're now encouraged by the Democrats to not just encourage, we have to have a conversation about racism, which again is another lie, because their definition of conversation is not a true conversation where two sides talk. Their definition is that we listen to the narrative that they put out there of institutionalized racism and systematic racism and the 1619 Project, and everything that's done wrong to the black people is because of their color of the skin. And I addressed these issues in another video. So it's not a conversation. You're supposed to listen and accept what you're being told and then act as you're being told to act. So you have to put BLM, you have to rename every possible product, you have to rename streets, you have to topple down statues. But having a conversation in the minds of the Democratic Party and the liberals and the Marxists, which BLM is a Marxist organization started by self-proclaimed trained Marxists. They don't care anything about black people. So we're just supposed to listen, accept, and obey. Well, that's not a conversation. And I listen to many, unfortunately, even black pastors. It's the same thing. Just listen to what I have to say and accept it and act accordingly. And when it's outside of the church, as a white person, you have to bow down, you have to apologize for being white, therefore you're automatically a racist. Well, none of that, of course, is true. So if we want to have a real conversation is that two sides tell their side of the story. A lot of times there's even a third independent party, which you're not going to find in America, right? I would be probably the closest to an independent party because I didn't grew up in America, because I wasn't born there, because I came in as an immigrant seeking freedom and justice and all of that, and I found it in America. So having a conversation means having a conversation. So I really hope that in churches or in communities that you people would listen to each other, regardless of the race. Listen to the other side, what they have to say, and don't dismiss it right away. Because even if they're wrong, their pain or their perception to them is true, but it's not going to change unless you see another perception or another viewpoint. So we need to talk, and I encourage the talk to take place, not just to listen to one side, one narrative, and buy into it and obey. And if you're pushing a certain narrative, you might be wrong. You need to listen as well to the other side or other viewpoints, and you might learn. And don't just push your viewpoint on everybody else and then get mad if they don't agree with you. That's not how you resolve situation. And everything that's going on in this country is just insane. There is no national dialogue. There is no national dialogue about, we don't want sports to be politicized, to putting Black Lives Matter, that's a Marxist organization. A lot of us, we don't want people to be kneeling just because they're white, or kneeling to a cause that's Marxist, or raising your hands to a Marxist cause. A lot of us don't want that, and we do want to have that conversation. But we're not allowed to, because right away, the same old tactic, we get labeled bigots and racist and haters and every evil thing in the book. And we're not, just because we don't agree with the false Marxist narrative that's being pushed on our country. So have a real conversation if you care enough. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, and if you want to see more videos like this, subscribe and click on the notification bell.